video. I'm trying to record this in one go with no voiceover. So please bear with me. Thanks for your patience. So you might remember this handmade sketchbook from my previous video. And actually, in the meantime, I have finished my second handmade watercolor sketchbook. This time I gave it hard covers. Those are photos I took myself while I was in Japan. The stitching is a little bit better, but you know, still could be improved, of course. And as you can see, the size is bigger. The previous one, my first handmade sketchbook, what was the size? It was 14 by 15 centimeters and had 40 pages. And the second one is 18.5 by 19 centimeters, and it just has 24 pages. The paper is Arch cold press. So if you would like to have a look inside and go through the sketchbook with me, please keep watching. I'm also almost done with this one. It's just a messy sketchbook, but I really liked it, and I'm super excited that Talents came out with a version of this sketchbook with white paper, because this paper is not pure white, it's kind of cream, which I don't really like. I prefer white paper. So let's see what's in this sketchbook. I honestly don't remember myself. So on the first page, it was the 8th of November 2021, I suppose. I swatched my most used palette. I usually put my favorite paints in a palette this size. Currently I have this set up in here, but at the time of starting this sketchbook, those were the colors I used. I still love them, of course. Next page, just a made-up character using golden Gansai Tambi paints. But I think what I was trying to do with this one was imitating the style of one of my favorite illustrators, Little Thunder, and I wanted to use very contrasting colors for her skin. The highlights are in pearl orange and the shadows are phthalo turquoise, and I see Little Thunder do this often and I think it looks amazing, so I wanted to try. And here is a master copy, or whatever, just a copy of her style. I'm pretty good at looking at something and copying it, but finding my own style is a journey. It's much more complicated. Anyway, so this is based on Little Thunder's art. She's amazing. I have her art book. I love her. Next, we have a small winter landscape with some birch trees and another master copy. This is from Dracula Children manga by Shinichi Sakamoto. This character called Lucy, very beautiful, and I really enjoyed painting the hair this gradation of pastel pink and blue and lilac. It's nice. And also her lace dress turned out pretty well, in my opinion. Next page is a picture from Mr. Paul Clark's YouTube video. He's a watercolor artist from Great Britain and he's super charming. I really like his channel. Go check it out. Here I was preparing to do a bigger painting and I didn't know which color scheme to go with. Actually had this up for voting on my Instagram. The red one won in the end, and many people had a very bad reaction to the green one. People really seem to dislike green. And I also used Holbein acrylic paints from their iridescent line. So all of this is super sparkly. I think I used their Chroma Shine and Chroma Pearl paints. I especially like how the green ice turned out. So this is what I would call a typical sketchbook page, just swatching stuff and checking random colors together. And this is kind of a cosmic specter ghost kind of woman, and the background is a nice wet and wet gradation with some granulation and Gansai Tambi starry colors paints. Please apologies for my dog. I guess this was the beginning of 2022. Bean bean. And I painted this camellia flower etagami style. It says Kotoshi koso sakaseyo, which is kind of an inspiration for that year. It means let's make it bloom this year. And I added some glitter on the little water drops. Oh, you can see my dog. Say hi, Zbyshu. Meep, meep. The background is also a bit shiny, but it doesn't stand out as much. This is based off a reference from Pinterest. Golden background. Roman Schmoll paints. I'm not a big fan of the heavy line work I added later, but I do like how the portrait itself turned out. I love her eyes, they're like golden, orange and purple. And overall I like this piece. Here I swatched some very unusual paints, which include Turner acrylic gouache in their glitter colors, then Finetech premium paints in their iridescent color set. So from straight up they look like white or are kind of semi-transparent, but when you look at them from an angle they all have a different sheen, they all have a specific color to them. And here I swatched the premium Finetech premium flip-flop colors, which are supposed to be duochrome or multichrome colors. So depending on the angle they appear to be a completely different color. I'm not really sure how to fully use their power in my art yet, but I'm sure I will come up with something. And those are the Turner acrylic gouache in Rame, how do you say it in English? Lame? I don't know. I think it's from French. Anyway, what they mean is glitter. So glitter opal, glitter diamond. Opal runs more green, yellow, and diamond runs more green, blue, purple. And then just two straight up glitters, silver and gold. I love all of those paints. They're amazing. I got them all from Peter's Art online shop from Germany, and I really like the customer service. I was quite surprised to receive an email from them in Polish when I asked them a question in English. It appears that Polish people work there as well, so that was a funny surprise. Yeah, highly recommend those paints and Peter's Art Store. Next, I started watching Code Geass anime, and I haven't finished it yet. It's a very complicated story, but there's this character, and I tried to draw her flowing hair, and of course use some of the specialty paints in the background. This is inspired by the art of Kelsey Beckett from Instagram. She creates amazing paintings in oil and gouache and draws those whimsical, mysterious portraits of women. So definitely the front look face is inspired by Kelsey Beckett, and then it's supposed to be a Japanese Heian era princess. And of course, I couldn't stop myself from adding all of the glitter paints on her kimono and on her eyebrows as well. And you might not be aware of that, but Heian era, Heian period makeup consisted of women shaving their eyebrows and drawing them higher on the forehead, and they could even be very unusual colors like golden green or vermilion red, something like that. So that's, even though it seems very unrealistic, they actually could have worn something like that in Heian period in Japan. Next is a sketch with red crayon, colored with watercolor. Here I got the into the granulating colors trend. I got the whole Schminke Super Granulation Tundra series in half pans. I wish they sold them in full pans. And I have Cascade Green from Daniel Smith, Undersea Green, and Aquarius Green from Roman Schmoll. All of the paints are amazing, and here, without really planning it or thinking about it, I tried to use those granulating greens to paint kind of a swamp, really, with a clean and clear lotus flower floating on the water. Here is some more exploration of the super granulating paints. I used only the Tundra series from Schminke to paint this portrait. It actually turned out surprisingly well. I do like how the skin turned out. Of course, she has some gold in her earring. I used salt in the background. Not the proudest of the hair and the ribbon, but you know, I'll take it. And here it's just exploration of granulation and wet, kind of a lonely cabin somewhere in the tundra, and the cosmic sky, Milky Way in the sky. This isn't dated, but I suppose it's not long after war in Ukraine had started, and as most people, I was pretty stressed, depressed, and worried about the state of the world, especially since it's a neighboring country to mine. I live in Poland. So I painted this girl. I titled it Dreaming of Peace, and it has the colors of Ukrainian flag, and of course some silver and sparkles in her dress and in her makeup. Next, I copied a rose, originally painted by Kittipong Maxine, who is an artist from Thailand. And I love, 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 love his watercolors so much. He's amazing. It didn't turn out so well, especially the white on the leaves, but it was a still learning experience, and I really like it. It's not bad. Next page, still in the gloomy era and stress and worry. A girl, I uploaded this to my Instagram before it was finished. Now it's finished. I gave her clothes, and I really like this golden tear effect. She's crying golden tears. I like how the nose, and I like how the face looks, even though it's too long. The proportions are a bit off, but honestly, I really like this piece. Her eyes are one of my favorite parts of this watercolor illustration. And then there is this child sleeping, and you can interpret those as falling stars or missiles falling. And of course, if it was up to me, children would only see falling stars, not missiles, conflict, and violence. So that's kind of my wish for peace in this illustration. And then the last piece is kind of a goodbye to this sketchbook. It says here, wash it all away. It's a lady taking a bath under a waterfall. There is a lot of glitter in this piece. In person, it's more subtle. It's not as in your face, but it does give the waterfall this interesting, sparkling, glittering, fresh water look. Yeah, and that's the last page of this sketchbook. I completed it from November 2021 to March 2022, so a year ago practically. But I'm just uploading it now. Here are some draft sketches, loose paper, a marker, alcoholic marker sketch. There's a mess. So yeah, so this is my second finished handmade watercolor sketchbook. Since then I have actually made a new one. It's much thicker. This is my third handmade watercolor sketchbook. Size-wise it's the same, but it has way more pages. The second one had 24 pages, and the third one has 48 pages. 48. I'm still not done with that, so I will do a sketchbook tour when I'm finished, but it's going well. I'm having fun. Oh, my dog is snoring, sorry. For this one I used, which paper did I use? For this one I used one full sheet of Fabriano Artistico in cold press and one full sheet of Canson Heritage cold press, which is my favorite watercolor paper actually. And I sew it together half and half. So first half of the sketchbook is Fabriano paper and the second half is all Canson Heritage cold press. So on the last page of Fabriano I drew this princess saying goodbye Fabriano, which is kind of silly, makes me laugh at least. So yeah, if you would like to see this sketchbook in the future, leave a like, follow, subscribe, whatever. I'm also on Instagram. I would be super stoked and happy if you checked it out. I will put the link below the video. I hope you liked the sketchbook tour. Thank you for watching and see you in the future.